So not a lot of people know this about you, but you're a fan of socks. Tell me about the socks.
We never really pay attention to socks. Most people don't. And I started paying attention to them because, you know, the more outrageous my socks are, the bigger smile I can put on my face. The more they don't match, the better, because in the middle of the day, if I'm like feeling a little down and out, I can go,
All right, guys. Montel Williams, everyone. Can we get a cup? Can we get? What can you tell our friends here that are watching Facebook, Instagram, and all the above? YouTube.
Make sure they tune in on Monday morning on Lifetime to catch a special edition of a show there that's called Balancing Act, that I am one of 4 hosts in a very special celebrity edition of Balancing Act that we're trying out. It's pretty cool.
You are very good at balancing professional life with your personal life.
I try to.
Absolutely. Has it always been that way?
No, I always say, you know, way back when I first started my talk show, I literally fell into the trap of trying to do more for others than I was really doing for myself. And recognizing that made me do less for others than I really should have been doing. So I really found some balance, you know, when I married my wife. And, you know, she taught me a few things about making sure that you start to put proper things in perspective. And since then, I think I've been on the right track.
Ladies, we save our men.
You save
Let's be honest.
Save your men.
About a year ago, you had a certain type of stroke.
Absolutely.
That pretty much takes 50% of the people that have that stroke, and you look good, my man.
Wow, thank you so much. I'm very blessed and very fortunate. I mean, I think, unfortunately, in the last year, you've heard about so many other celebrities who have succumbed to and have passed away from a similar type of stroke. And you know, I'm lucky, but at the same time, I've done a lot of work at things for neuroprotection and working on myself to make sure that not only did I not succumb to the stroke itself, but then I was able to bounce back as quickly as I have.
It was pretty fascinating that you knew exactly what to do. I read that you were at the gym of the hotel. Yep. You did not lay down. You went straight to your room. You immediately told your wife that you needed medical help.
I put the key in the door, walked in, and I screamed, "Tay-Tay!" And she was in the shower. So she came out of the shower, wiping herself down, drying herself out. I said, "Call an emergency vehicle right now. Tell them that your husband just had a stroke." And she said, "What?" I said, "I just had a stroke. As a matter of fact, I might be having a stroke. I don't know. I'm having it right now." And I sat down and sat up. I didn't lay down. And one of the things that's really important that people need to understand is in that situation is one, if you know your body the way I knew my body, and I knew something happened, and I started recognizing some of the symptoms that literally they talk about all the time. That is a stroke.
Let's talk a little bit about Military Makeover.
Sure thing.
It's a great show.
It's an incredible show, and really an incredible opportunity. The show's been on for now 4 years. I am blessed that I had an opportunity to, literally while I was in the hospital last June.
In ICU, huh?
In ICU, I got the call, "Would you want to host this show?" And I signed my contract while I was still in the hospital, which was really amazing.
What a guy.
But it was an opportunity to give something back. Not a handout, but a hand up to so many deserving people who do so much for us. And what we do is we find veterans who own their own home, and then we make over their homes from the ground up. And it's one and two of the cases so far. There are soldiers who have been wounded in combat and literally have had some difficulty navigating their homes, so we make it a little bit easier, widen out bathrooms, widen out staircases, and then give them not a house, but their forever home.
And obviously you're a highly decorated military veteran, and this is something you say that you never took your uniform off.
No.
You always had it on. You were always helping veterans still to this day.
Absolutely. A lot of people don't know I did 22 years in the military, both the Marine Corps and the Navy. I started off enlisted in the Marine Corps, then I went to the Naval Academy in Annapolis, graduated and became a naval officer, so I was an E4 and an O4 when I got out. But then since I retired, I joined the board of the Fisher House, which is like the Ronald McDonald House of the VA hospital. It's the #1 4-star charity for veterans in the country today. And I'm very proud of that because this is an organization that recognizes that the best way for a person to heal is to make sure they have their family with them. And unfortunately, our veterans are paid so little that, you know, but some of these guys who have suffered, you know, catastrophic illnesses in Afghanistan, Iraq, these guys come home and may go through 15 to 20 different surgeries. over the period of 3 or 4 years. Well, the guy may live in Idaho. He's got to fly to Walter Reed, get operated on in Walter Reed, but he can't afford to bring his family with him to stay with him, and the Fisher House picks up that gap.
And other than that, a lot of you may not know that you are also helping military veterans who have been incarcerated.
Oh, absolutely. And we also have another program. It's called On Lifetime. Again, Military Makeover is on Lifetime every Friday morning. You can catch that. But we also have a show that's called Military Makeover Operation Career, where we literally feature businesses that hire veterans and some of the veterans that get jobs.
I love absolutely everything that you're doing. Let's talk a little bit about social media, because obviously in the time where you were the first African American to host that talk show, 17 seasons, over 3,300 episodes, like social media was not, the social media was the talk show.
Yes, that's right.
You know?
As man, well, talk shows, I think we literally created what is now reality TV. I think it all spawned out of the talk shows of the early 90s. And it was before social media. It was before we were judged on a daily basis by social media. So I didn't have all the influences of likes and dislikes when the show started, and we had to kind of create our own likes and dislikes. So it was great.
And what would you tell your 25-year-old self now?
I'd remind me that at age 16, I, proffered a little moniker to me that said, I alone will own the definition of who I am. And since age 25, I have lived by that as a motto. I go to bed every night, and maybe something I can share with people. Every night before I go to sleep, I ask myself, what did I do today that's worth talking about tomorrow? If you can't come up with an answer, then you didn't fulfill your day and your responsibility to mankind.
What can we expect on this season of The Balancing Act?
Well, hopefully this special edition of The Balancing Act that we have right now is going to turn into multiple episodes. I think I'm flying out Sunday to L.A. To Lifetime to one of their events to kind of talk about what we were able to accomplish with The Balancing Act. I think it took a lot of people caught a lot of people off guard how good the show was, and I'm hoping that we get multiple more episodes of that. But then, there's some conversations afoot about me coming back in some other ways. So, you ain't seen the last of me.
No. I'll be on the first episode. I'm with Ralph, traveling with his little Airstream.
His Airstream. That's so cool, Ralph on the road. Yeah, he's going to be taking, he's doing the cooking segments on The Balancing Act with us. But he's also going to take a special configured Airstream out on the road to help give back also.
Can't believe you guys let him wild out and about touring the country. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Thanks for having me, for sure.